I am now on my 5th year of running an early stage startup. Today, I want to share the top lessons I would share with myself if I could go back in time and teach myself the basic principles of building a startup. The first place I would start is with a very common misconception. Most early stage founders are under the impression that you have to build a high growth business from day one. And that's just not true. Imagine from riding a tricycle one day to flying a supersonic jet. That just doesn't work. There's a bunch of steps you need to take in between. And let's walk through some of those steps. I see the early days of starting a company as research and development. Investors are giving you money not necessarily to build a big business, but go out and run methodical experiments to figure out what the market wants and what are the real gaps. Before you can even monetize, you need to build a product that solves a real problem. And you're probably not going to get this on your first try. This is why experimentation is key. In a previous video, I talked about what YC taught me about building a massive business. And one of those lessons is falling in love with the problem, not the solution. That comes up again here right now. If you're too attached to the solution, then ultimately if that solution doesn't work out, you're back to square one. But if the solution doesn't work out and you're in love with the problem, well, hey, the problem's still there. Now you just have to attack it from a different angle. Think back to 5th grade science class. You have things known as independent variables and dependent variables. And the reason we have this is so that when you run an experiment, you can figure out what is the cause of the changes that you're seeing. If you're changing multiple variables at once, you're not actually learning anything new. You're just randomly throwing stuff at the wall, and I can assure you that does not work. Instead, I wish I could tell my past self how important it is to be methodical about your experiments. Have a hypothesis, run an experiment, collect data, and then iterate. A great book that covers this in detail is Eric Ries's The Lean Startup. I'll include a link in the description if you want to check that out. If you launch a brand new feature and also update your landing page and see an increase in your revenue, what was it that drove that increase in revenue? Was it the new feature or was it the update in the landing page? Now, if you were to control the variable and only change one, now you could more systematically attribute your revenue increase to the one variable you actually changed. Over the past 5 years, I've really come to see 4 main pillars of startup success. So let's walk through those one by one. Number 1 is discoverability. How will users find out about your product? Are they searching for it on Google? Are they hearing about it through a friend? Are they getting a direct sales email? Number 2 is acquisition. Now that somebody's actually heard about your product, how do they become customers? Is there a free trial? Is there a way for them to learn more about the product? How do they build confidence that this solution is right for them? Third is engagement. Once you've acquired a customer, how do you keep them coming back and continue to add more and more utility every single day? If you aren't able to engage customers, even though you might get them to pay at first, they're not going to stick around, which YC likes to call a leaky bucket. Customers come in, they go out. Ultimately, your business goes to zero over time. A leaky bucket is not a way to build a sustainable business, so this is why you need to have a killer product to keep customers around. The last pillar is monetization. Now that you've been able to acquire customers and keep them around, can you find a way to extract value such that your business is able to become profitable? Only once you have these 4 pillars figured out can you focus on optimizing each single step. But if you skip steps, this entire funnel just collapses. In an upcoming video, we'll go deeper into each one of these pillars, but that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. With that, this is Ish signing off.